young people complaining about getting work, having to work, gaining work experience, just struggling with finding a job and keeping a job. And I think everybody's looking at it the wrong way. Working for yourself doesn't mean being self-employed. What it means is, what can you do for yourself today to be prepared tomorrow? So you apply for a job that requires 5 years work experience, but you've been studying all this time. Where were you supposed to get this work experience from? You get the work experience, as I said now, how to prepare yourself for tomorrow. So why can't you work when you're studying? Because then you don't have time to study. But there's little things that you can do for yourself, making yourself employable, making yourself likable. So how do you achieve that? Now, you apply for a job and there are 3 of you waiting to go in for an interview. All 3 of you have got the same degrees, and what differentiates you from the rest of them? Were you a prefect at school? Have you got leadership skills? Is that something you're interested in working on today at school to set you apart from the other interviewees? As a musician, I find myself constantly in competition for the same position, and there's 3 things you need as a musician to get work. 1, you have to be likable, you have to be nice. 2, you have to be reliable. 3, you have to do what you do well. And chances are you're only going to excel at 2 of those 3 things. You can't be nice if you're constantly busy working and you're constantly practicing. You're not out there trying to be nice. Preparing yourself, practicing. You haven't got time to do that if you're focusing on the other 2 things. But if you compromise and you spend time focusing on all 3 things, that sets you apart from the other candidates that would be competing for the same position. So every employer wants work experience, but nobody will employ me in order for me to get work experience. Have you considered creating your own opportunities? Have you thought, before I go into the workforce, how can I make myself attractive? How can I get that experience before getting the experience with somebody else? There are markets. Have I thought of creating a product to sell? That experience will work in your favor. How can I move on from this point by working for myself? Continually build on yourself, making sure that everything I do works to my advantage. It is really competitive. Sorry. I know that it's a really competitive industry, trying to be successful, trying to just get life started. And just trying to get life started, and you spend all this time going through school, you spend all this time studying, and you find yourself not getting anywhere and really struggling. Sorry. Okay. Working for yourself means just that. Not to satisfy a boss, not to work for a big paycheck at the end of the month, but fulfilling your duties and to the best of your abilities, working on you to be a better you. I may have jumped ahead for most of you, some of you still in school thinking, how will it benefit me to think about this today? But if you walk away thinking about what you can do to put yourself in a position to improve yourself, then it'll only pay off in the long run. To focus on small victories instead of what you will be getting out of the hard work today. And always be conscious about what you do. I'm sure you've all heard that the decisions you make today impact your life in some way, and that couldn't be more than true. Is you think what you're doing today won't have an impact on what happens tomorrow. But in fact, it will. If you decide to spend time in the bar hanging out with your friends tonight, tomorrow you'll be less productive. So consciously thinking about what you are doing, how you will achieve your goals, it's all interrelated. And I'm really not trying to say that you shouldn't have fun, you should. And the journey to success should be fun. But not if the decisions that you make today negatively impact your end goal. And creating your own opportunities and seeing opportunities. If you do things with a conscious mind, you will see things that weren't there before, where people around you need help, where you can create your own opportunities to, in result, achieve your end goal, where you see an open job position, but why not think to create something around that in your current environment to emulate what it is that job has to offer, what you can do today to recreate that position and gain that experience. Creating your own opportunities counts just as much. In the orchestra environment, as I said earlier, we're constantly competing with each other. New faces come and go. And it's really difficult for everybody that has the same qualification to set each other apart, because we're all striving for the same thing. But if you think, okay, tonight I'm going to skip out on a night out with my friends and I'm going to learn to get to know these people, they're going to recommend you for the next concert. So for instance, spending that time becoming friends with orchestra members sets you apart and gets you recommended for the next thing. Having concerts for the community is something that sets you apart and gets you recommended for another job. Going out and teaching is something that differentiates you, but it's not positions that are available and currently open to you. It's not something that you can just walk into and apply for. So go out today and think about how you can create your own opportunities to be different and to gain your own experience, opposed to having to stand there one day at a job opportunity and be denied because you haven't got the work experience they expect of somebody that just left university. Thank you.